Well, all right, guys. Hey, hope everybody's doing great this evening. Getting ready to go out and uncover a relic out here. I feel really bad because it's been covered up for years, and I know that the weather has gotten to it and probably ruined maybe 100 hours of body work. Who knows? We got to go out and look at it anyway. Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and do what it takes to get moving on with a project that's stalled out. So that's where we're going to go this evening. Ouch. That's why you don't leave stuff parked in the middle of the way for like 15 years and then go back and try to fix it. So at any rate, cost myself a bunch of body work right there, but I'm sure there's more hidden underneath this tarp. So that's the next thing. I'm gonna untarp. Oh, so there we go. 1935. Yeah, 1935, two-door sedan. When I parked it out here, everything was looking pretty nice bodywork wise. I got frustrated building these pieces, like for the inside of the door, like our window track stuff, so kind of gave up. Got the one-piece roof in there. Had a little issue with my primer though, apparently. Yeah. That's never good. Looks like a proverbial dried up lake bed all the way around. So, more work, more YouTube content. It's gonna be great. Well, there you go. Jerking it up in here with the old four-wheeler. It worked. It took a little bit of time. Would have been cool to have a co-pilot sitting in there to steer, but hey, no big deal. Got it pulled in. Man, I forgot kind of where I left off. I mean, just a lot of work left. A lot of work already done. And quite a bit of stuff to redo. This stuff's just from it sitting, but like my primer is fractured in a lot of places. And I think at the point when I was doing all this stuff, I was probably using a polyester type of high build primer, and I may have abused it. I might have put too much on, might not have let it dry long enough. I can't remember. It's been a long time ago. The big point is we got some issues with stuff. I mean, that is zero good. So it's actually let moisture go down through the primer, all the way down through the body filler and onto the metal. So doggone, we're gonna have to do a lot of work. I don't even care about the body work. I think it'd be cool to fix it up and get a motor in it, get it running, driving. It's already got a 8.5 inch ring gear rear end out of a Camaro. It's got the Mustang 2 front suspension under it. So, all right, and it is the next day. We're back out here. Got the car sitting up here, had a little bit of time to think about the next move on it. But I do want to bring you in. I got the hood opened up here so you can see some of the chassis, maybe get just a little glimpse of some of the work that was already done here. So this car, basically, this chassis has been completely done. It's all been painted. I built the stands, boxed the entire thing, built an X member in it, set it up for a Gen 1 small block, 4L60, I believe a 700 R4 will go right there. Got the power brakes back hiding off there. We're set down fairly low in the chassis, and then if you look at the center line here, or where the motor's mounted, and number 1 spark plug, or I guess in this case this is number 2 spark plug. But if you look at him, and then you look right over here, this is the center line of the spindle, number 1 spark plug. That dude is like the water pump outlet is almost directly even with the spindle there. So that's I think in a lot of the books, that's a pretty good weight distribution, getting that motor back as far as we can. We are sacrificing some interior space, but in all reality, this car is going to basically be a 2-seater and maybe have something in the back for somebody to be able to sit in. You know, more on all of that stuff later. Right now, I'm trying to avoid looking at this big, massive stuff here. I did pull everything forward, got it where it's kind of sitting about the way it was. Really bummed here. This U-joint is like super rusty, so anything that was bare metal, that's probably the way it's going to look in here. I grabbed the crank on the motor and I couldn't turn it with my hands, but you know, that doesn't mean anything. And 350 Chevys, those things are a dime a dozen anyway. One thing that's kind of unique here is this is actually a real cross member out of a like 75, 76 Mustang 2. Did buy new control arms, so they're all put together. I mean, you can buy all these Mustang 2 components super cheap. So that's all that stuff. Yeah, just kind of wanted to show a little bit about the 1935 Chevy. It's a 2-door standard sedan. So they had a weird ways of like putting everything together back in the day. I'm going to try to grab some pictures of when I pulled this thing out of the field originally and put those in the video here so you guys can see really where this thing was when we started. It was less than a basket case. I think it was not in very good shape, and I've gone through and like got it a whole lot better than what it was. Nothing on this car is fiberglass. Everything is steel, and it's all original to the car, which is kind of crazy that you go from 1935 until 2021 and all that sheet metal is original to this thing. Something I think is cool on the Chevrolets, the hood sides all have these cool little vents here. that's one quick way to tell a Chevrolet of this vintage. Yeah, so there we go. I wonder what John Barrett's doing today. He's probably not very happy about the way I've treated his engine there by looking at the valve covers. I do have a old school SP2R intake from Edelbrock on here, and a cast iron distributor in there that's set up to pre-lube. I mean, this is some pretty old stuff that my dad used to use back in the day. You can see my nice firewall that I built completely flat. Toe board comes down here. I may end up just cutting all that out and changing it. It's not not that I want to, but I'm afraid it's not leaving a whole lot of room inside the car. And yeah, I mean, I can't believe how much space I have front to back, but then there's no space from side to side in this platform, which I guess would make sense since most of these cars were inline 4 or inline 6 engines back in the day. And 1935, this is like the last year that Chevrolet used wooden substructure with sheet metal nailed to it. So it's been a challenge to deal with and work on. So hey, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'm waiting for a little bit drier weather before I start tearing stuff apart. My floor out here is super wet and it is super polished, so the floor is really slick. I did try squeegeeing it off, and there's a breeze blowing to see if it would dry, but it's just so humid it won't even dry off. So hey, at any rate, we're going to go in the shop and do something else. Catch you on the next one.